Daniel, how are you today, mate?
I'm not too bad at all, Chris. How are you?
Good. I'm not too bad. So we're here to talk about a game where you went to Poland for, I believe, wasn't it?
Indeed, yeah. I'm
And
still
you played.
hungover.
Yeah, good stuff. All that vodka.
Indeed.
You played Sniper Ghost Warrior 3.
Sure did.
So yeah. I mean, what's it like?
Right, the demo we got was basically 2 hours, and it's open world now. Sniper Ghost Warrior, big open world. There's 3 different maps. We played in one of said maps, kind of a foresty area, lots of kind of mountains and stuff. And it was alright. It was alright. I think it was kind of what people expect from Sniper Ghost Warrior, just kind of alright, maybe better. I don't know. All I remember from these games was like the demos. I never really liked the demos because they always felt kind of really on rails to me. I imagine that's what they were. I feel like, so I don't know, I'd say it's definitely better from what I've played of those demos, but I never played them games fully, so I couldn't really comment. But it's alright. I mean, I said the open world change is really interesting because they've approached missions like kind of how things like Metal Gear Solid and then maybe Watch Dogs and lately Ghost Recon Wildlands did it. So you come across an area and then you send out your drone to tag enemies and that. And then you've got to infiltrate the area, and you've got 3 play styles as always. You can be the soldier, the sniper, I should say. So kind of self-explanatory. Then the ghost, who just sneaking in, knife kills, not alerting anyone, or the warrior, which is guns blazing. And what I do find interesting is that doing it guns blazing is very hard. The weapons recoils, I imagine you can upgrade them as they go on, but like at the minute, the recoils are like wild and stuff, and it's like kind of authentic. And it is hard to do it guns blazing because you'll just get sought after straight away and you'll get blasted to bits. I didn't really. The stealth stuff is it's fine, and I think the sniper. Obviously, it's a sniper game, and sniping is kind of where it shines. I think from the beta they had to make it easier, I believe. So because these games take into account wind and fucking humidity and fucking lateral altitude and all that type of shit. So people were finding it really hard. They couldn't hit the targets. But so now, and this is completely optional for us. What they did, they've added like this little red dot, which is separate to the actual sniper scope, which will, so you're aiming at one bit, but it's actually the circle, which is where your bullet will go. So it's completely optional if hardcore players want to, like the hardcore sniping experience and don't want to be, don't want this kind of assistance. You can still have it, and that'll make it, I imagine, a lot more immersive, but a lot more harder. So for me, this little dot, which kind of showed me where my bullets were going, it helped a lot. The sniping is really good. I mean, sneaking on, and I kind of like it. They have, and apparently they've had this for a while, but they have like their own kind of bullet cam. It doesn't do X-ray stuff like Elite, but it kind of, if you get certain headshots and stuff, you'll see them kind of die from close up, and it's alright. It's not like the grotesque comedy of Elite, but it's its own little thing. But I kind of preferred it when I didn't get those type of things, and I could just. It was more realistic, and I could so I sniped them just from a distance and saw them drop from afar. It made me feel like I'm this cold, calculating, deadly sniper just up in a fucking bush somewhere, killing these unsuspecting guys. I like to be like, I shot both his legs, then he was on the floor and he was just in pain, and then I shot his head and he died. So there's different stuff like different parts of the body you shoot will the enemies will react to it in different ways. And it's, like I said, it's a sniping game, and the sniping is pretty good, and I imagine probably the most, if you went without the kind of the cursor, would be the most realistic sniping game on at least consoles. I don't know if there's any mad sniping fucking simulators on PC or anything, but it's alright. I feel like the world is kind of a bit. It's more of just a means to get to places. You have a robust car, you can drive vehicles to get to places. It's not really one I guess it's not really iconic, I'd say. It's not really, nothing really stands out. It's just forests and stuff, get into little huts and buildings to do missions. I mean, there's some cool bits, like there's no, on your map, there's no kind of, the only thing that comes up are question marks and then markers for like supplies. So there's just loads of question marks, but you don't know what the question mark's going to be when you reach it. It could be civilians have been held hostage, so you need to sneak in and free them. It could be like a hideouts or anything like that. And then one point I walked up to this house and it exploded. I looked inside and it was like a moonshine lab or something, and it had gone wrong and this guy had blown himself up from it, and so that was pretty cool. There could be a few more cool little things happening in the world like that as it go on, but
yeah,
it's alright. There's a couple of problems from the build I had. Sorry, go on, please, go on.
Is it set in America?
No, Georgia. It's set in Georgia.
Okay.
The story's quite interesting actually. So you're going there because, and it's based, you can see it in the interview I did, which should be on guysgeek.com YouTube channel, I should say. It's set in Georgia because there's been conflict there, and there's not many games set in Georgia, so they wanted to give that representation. But basically what the story is, and I think it's quite interesting, you're a soldier, sniper guy who's been sent to Georgia to kind of quell the unrest and whatever, and kind of take out the typical American style, put your will onto other nations and take out their leadership. But you're also there because your brother, who got kidnapped while on service or whatever, you got intel that he's been held there. So there's kind of two different, like a personal story and then the wider picture. And I've been told it's meant to be emotional, and it's a lot more kind of story driven than previous games, so that could be something to look out for.
So how long did you get with it? Were you like?
It was a couple of hours. Yeah,
single player. I take it.
Yeah, single player. A couple of hours.
You got to see a fair amount of the
yeah, they basically gave the world to us, and we had 3 story missions, and the story missions were
okay.
It's kind of it's where you just kind of go to a place, take everyone out, and then do whatever you're there to do. I mean, they change up kind of the aesthetics of it, but it's pretty much the same thing. But if you like that sort of sniping, I guess it's alright. I think there was a couple of problems. I think this isn't a problem. It ran a lot better than apparently the beta did, I'm led to believe. The beta was pretty shaky. This was a lot better. It was a lot smoother. There was a couple of frame rate dips here and there, but it's pre-development and whatnot, and
of course,
that's to be expected.
That, yeah.
But it ran a lot smoother than I'm led to believe other versions did. But thing is, there was a problem with kind of the AI at points. So I snuck into a hut to free some civilians, and I thought there was only one guy left, so I sneaked up to him, and then I pressed the interrogate button by mistake. So you can if you stealth play enemies, you can interrogate them, and they'll tell you where their mates are or whatever. And I did this, so I went, "Tell me where your friends are," and then he told me. Then as I turned, then the map came up that there was an enemy right next to me. Turned around, and sure enough, there was an enemy there who hadn't heard this altercation and was standing there, just happy as Larry. And then he got shot in the back of the head from 0.0 yards. So it was kind of little dodgy AI things like that every now and then. But yeah, it's not going to set the world alight. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. It's not going to it's not going to be the next big thing. It's not going to be massive or anything like that, but it's good, it's alright, and there is a room for alright games in this world, the mid tier that's kind of fallen through recent days, and this is what this is.
I mean, it's come out. It's the end of April, I think it's released, so it's not a bad time to come out. Persona's out in a week's time. Everything else will have hopefully died down a little bit, so people might actually get a chance to play it. Mm-hmm. One of the kind of things I wanted to ask just before we kind of wrap it up is the game's movement. Like, as a player, what are the different? I mean, is it quite, for one? Is it quite easy to get around on foot? Is there's a free running elements or any? Is it easy to climb, or is it quite clunky?
No, it's kind of. You don't, there's no climbing or anything like that. I'm pretty sure there's different ways to sneak into places. So if you're approaching places, there'll be like sniper perches or tunnels that you can go through to get into places. So there's various ways to get into kind of mission locations, if you like. But when you're traversing the world, it's because it's very realistic, I guess, for movement. You're probably going to be only driving from location, then when you're 100 yards out or whatever, getting out of your car, then creeping towards them and kind of using your drone to scout it out.
Yeah,
you only want to be, there's zip lines and the odd stuff like that, but you're going to be wanting to drive your car around the world, I suspect, because I don't think, there's wildlife in there. There's cows and funny dogs and wolves and stuff, so there is things in the world that can hurt you that aren't humans and stuff, but you are going to want to and you can go hunting. I think you like this deer, you can go hunting and stuff like that, and snipering.
Yeah.
But you're gonna really, I imagine you're gonna want to just drive around to save time from place to place. I don't think there's gonna be anything much to see in the world really, and since all the question marks, at least for us, I don't know if they will be for the full game, kind of on the map.
Yeah.
You can just drive to thing to thing to thing. There's not really any exploration involved, I'd have thought.
I mean, it sounds like it's not really doing anything different to like Ghost Recon Wildlands or Sniper Elite, really. So the thing that might set it apart seems to be like the story. So I guess we're just gonna have to kind of wait.
That or the snipering, I guess, because that is kind of its USP, and it's the sniping is where this is gonna stand apart from. Because I say the mission structure and the way you go about missions is rather similar to a lot of games that have come out recently. There seems to be a trend, but it's been in development for a few years now, so that kind of you've got to ride certain waves when they come along, and it's
right,
I said it's going to be all right. It's not going to set the world alight, but it'll be all right, and who knows how it'll do. Eh?
I mean, it's got a multiplayer, so I guess we'll see what that's like when it comes out.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, all right, mate. Well, have we got a preview piece coming up?
It will be coming. Yes. It should by now. It should be on gonazeek.com for your reading pleasure, and of course there'll be an interview with the lead level designer or the senior level designer, Thomas Pruski, on the sites by now as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for joining me, Dan.
Oh, no worries at all.
Yeah. So if you want to get read any of that, watch the video, just head over to godasageek.com. That'll be your essential hub for all things Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Thank you very much.